Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin, and welcome to Cavalcade of Food, a Cavalcade Cocktail edition. And today we are making a Cuba Libre, or as it's often known, Rum and Coke. And it seems like a fairly straightforward, simple drink, and it kind of is, but it has an interesting history because the Cuba Libre translated really means free Cuba, and it was based on the strive for Cuban independence, which was garnered after the Spanish-American War, 1898, and so this drink was originated in Cuba. Nobody knows the exact details. There's a few different stories and no telling which one is true, but I think we can say that it was created in the early 20th century. So it was after the war, after Cuba got its independence, sometime in the early 1900s. Coca-Cola was not imported into Cuba from the U.S. until 1900. So it definitely didn't happen before then. And some people think it was around, maybe 1900, 1901, 1902, something like that, where somebody brought rum, which was basically the alcohol that was very much of Cuban origins. Now we think of rum coming from Puerto Rico, but Cuba made rum, and then of course Coca-Cola. So those are the two main ingredients, and also to make it properly you need a lime. So we're going to put this together, but it's a interesting cocktail. Certainly became very popular in the United States as well. There's the famous song Rum and Coca-Cola, and this was a drink that was and is enjoyed by a lot of people. So again, I like to use the Coke that is bottled in Mexico because this Coke does not use high fructose corn syrup as a sweetener. This is still made with sugar, with cane sugar, the way Coca-Cola used to be made here in the United States years ago. I think it just has a better flavor for this kind of a drink, but if you don't have access to this or whatever, you can use regular. A lot of people say, can I use diet? Yes, you can use diet pop if you want, diet cola here. Honestly, it does not taste the same with diet pop. Artificial sweeteners doesn't have the same taste as sugar. It just does not. Honestly, for the small amount of pop you're going to have in this drink, really, I mean, whatever. I can go off on a tangent about artificial sweeteners. They're just not good for you. Neither is alcohol, for that matter, and neither is sugar, for that matter. So if you're going to have stuff that's already not good for you, you might as well have stuff that tastes good, right? But if you want to use a diet cola, go right ahead. You can do that. So let's put together our Cuba Libre. Okay, let's start with the glass. So we want a highball glass, folks, and this is what we call in the business a highball, okay? This is a highball glass, and a future Cavalcade cocktail episode will talk about highballs. And to me, I love that drink, and it is a good drink to order if you are in a situation, as I was recently, with a very inexperienced bartender who maybe doesn't have the means or the ingredients to make a more complex cocktail. So my default is always a highball. We'll talk about that, but this is a highball glass, and this is what we want. We're going to ice this down So let's fill this with ice. Again, you know what? This is a drink that originated in Cuba, so as you can imagine, ice drinks have long been popular there because it is a warm climate. So we start with the ice. And now we are going to add 2 ounces of rum. You can use a light rum, which is the clear, or in this case, the darker rum, the gold rum. I'm going to put in 2 ounces of rum here. 1, 2. Do not use spiced rum. I mean, could you? Yeah, I guess you could, but it would not be a Cuba Libre. Okay, now we're going to put in our cola. Again, this is, you know what? If you like Pepsi or RC, you can go for it. Oh, before I put in the cola, here's what we're going to put to this rum. We're going to squeeze a quarter of a lime. Okay? And then stick it in there. And then we're going to fill to the top with Coca-Cola. So you probably want, like I said, 2 ounces of rum, 4 ounces of Coke. And then we are going to garnish with a lime wheel. How's that? So here we are, food friends, the classic Cuba Libre, and I toast to you. That is good, 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 good. Obviously the Coke is very sweet, but it's a nice balance because you have the lime juice, which I think is really needed to cut the sweetness of the Coke. And, you know, rum also, to me, rum is a little sort of sweet. And so you have the balance of the rum, the Coke, and the lime juice. Some people omit the lime altogether, and to me, while you can do that, I think makes for a drink that's just a little too sweet. So the lime to me is important, and it's certainly the classic recipe. So thank you for joining me for this quick cocktail episode. I hope you are all well. I appreciate you spending some time. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. The website is cavalcadefood.com, and I will look forward to seeing you again here real soon on Cavalcade Food. Cheers!